Hello everyone, I hope that you are doing well. So without wasting any time, let's move to the newspaper. First we will identify the important news and then we'll move on to the analysis section. So this is April 17, 2022, The Hindu, Delhi edition. Right, this is a Sunday edition, so there will be a science and technology page, okay, which we will be uploading tomorrow. Fine. So let's see what's there in today's news. First we'll be identifying the most important news. Okay. So nothing here. Let's see. Okay, we have to see why this has been done. Child line 1098 may be merged with emergency line helpline 112. Shout at PM silence on communal violence opposition. Okay, not required. Okay, not required. No, nothing new. Now as far as this distance from the content not required. Okay, no, not required, not required. Nothing on this page, nothing on this page. Okay, not required, not required, not required. Murasoli criticizes Tamil Nadu governor on NEET bill. Not required. Okay, there is nothing. RSS leader hacked to death. No, no, not required. Okay, green project will add life to Rajasthan Park. We'll have to see which park it is talking about. Okay. Okay, there is nothing else here. Russian frigate delivery on time not required right now. Okay. Man defied Maryada asked to no, not required. Governor has very limited power. Not required. Look, this you can say that it is a good article or it is a good news related to governor, but it pops up every now and then. So once you are done with this, don't look at these news very often. Concentrate on your static part, right? Art and culture being bring people closer. Izazuddin not required. Ishore present action plan for Congress. Okay, opposition slams PM silence. I mean, not required, not required. Manipur cabinet seat expansion not required. Tenure of green permits. Okay, we have to see what it is. Odisha to cut short school vaccination days, not a COVID. Optics put NCR in alert not required. India objects to methodology using other death toll. Yes, we have to see this. Russia bans entry to British PM. Moscow accuses UK of aggravating the crisis, pumping Kyiv with lethal weapons. Okay. Swift sinks of Tunisia threatens marine life. Okay. We have to see it very briefly. Fine. Slide force is not required. Just know this thing. Yemen's Houthi rebels. Okay, the Houthi belongs to Yemen. Okay. Okay. Why? Okay, science and tech page. Why cats and dogs are less susceptible to Omicron? Okay, we will see why it is so to Omicron. Fitch communication. We'll read it what it is. Thermo batteries. Role of climate. Wave-like phase of electrons in fabricated device. FDA authority to pre-test for COVID. Okay. Fine, this is related to food and nutrition section. We have to say it. What's fueling inflation in rural India? Okay. Give it a read. You'll understand. It would be a very easy article. A spectrum price row. Okay, there is nothing else here, nothing here. I don't see anything till now here. Nothing is here on this page as well. Let me see. No, nothing is here. And then where is this post page as usual? IPL is not very important for our examination, right? So it won't be helping us. And this is also the sports page only. Now news and frames. What is this? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So with this we have completed identifying the most important news. Now we'll be moving towards analysis of the same. Okay. So this is our first news. Childline 1098 may be merged with emergency helpline 112. Let's see. Civil society organizations worried about the new proposal. Children 1098 is the country's only dedicated helpline number for children, and entire child rights sector relies on it to provide assistance to them. But today a cloud hangs over its future as government plan to merge it with National Emergency Helpline in 112. Okay, Childline in 1098 is 24/7 emergency free phone outreach for children in distress. It is one of the world's biggest emergency helpline service dedicated to children. It is considered to be among the country's largest emergency response system with 50 lakh calls received annually. But civil society organizations are worried about its future, okay, after it is being merged. Fine. What is helpline 112? Universal helpline 112 of Ministry of Home Affairs that provide assistance with service related to police, health and women's safety, right? So 112 is for women's safety and 1098 is for the child. Okay, what would be the repercussions? Okay, let's see. When it started, it started as a project by Jiro Bulimoria of Tata Institute of TISS Mumbai, right? So it was a project which now has taken a pan-India shape, and it today is hosts 50 lakh annual calls. 3.95 children were provided emergency assistance in 2020-21 alone. 6 call center has been established in 5 cities. Okay, Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai and Bangalore. The 4 metros plus 1 Bangalore is world's biggest emergency helpline service. You understand? So this is world's biggest emergency help service. 598 districts have helpline presence through a network of interventional unit. Okay. Now, as my views are concerned, let the government stance come. Let me see what government has to say. Women and Child Development said that Administrative Council of Children 1098 will be transferred from Ministry to Ministry of Home Affairs so that police personnel and not social worker answer the call made to. Okay, so what government is saying that police should be answering the calls and not social workers, and because as per now the call center is this scheme is under which it is under Ministry of Women and Child Development. So and police comes under Ministry of Home Affairs. So what happens? There is a mismatch. So for getting over that mismatch, this is being implemented. But as far as my views are concerned, no, it should not be done. Let there be a dedicated helpline for children. Let them talk to social people only, right? And let the police intervention be at other stage. Why? This is simply because children may be afraid to talk to police, and most probably let the people taking the call be women, because children often relate themselves more closely to women, right? So this is my take on this. You can have your own take and you are free to take your call. Okay, now let's see if any other news was there. I don't remember any other news on this page, and yes, there was no important news with respect to examination on these pages. Okay, all political news are there. Yes, green project will add life to Rajasthan park. Which life? Now DNP Desert National Park. Okay, 3 districts. Let's see. A green agriculture project funded by FAO Global Environmental Facility will act as a lifeline to DNP in western Rajasthan with conservation of critical biodiversity and forest landscape, develop grassland. Action plan for each village in the region are being prepared with involvement of local rural communities. This is a very good step because the rural community or the local community remains at that place forever, and any intervention should be made by taking inputs from them. They understand the geography very well. Okay. Environmentalists in the state have called for developing grassland on vast tract of DNP area for grazing animals, saying their neglect and conversion into irrigated and cultivated land would further endanger the rare species. Okay, what happens is that, look, already it is a vegetation stressed, not stressed, it is a vegetation scarce place, and then also there is a huge pressure. Why? For grazing, right? So if we develop grazing land there, then it would easily help the other land to be conserved. Okay. DNP is situated near Jaisalmer and Barmer, covering area of about 3200 square kilometers, in which sand dune comprise about 20% of the park. You understand? So 20% of the park is what? Sand dunes itself. Okay. There's not much thing. DNP native flora and fauna species effective management of traditional forest known as Oran. So what is a traditional forest known in that region? It is called Oran. And grazing area and revival of water harvesting system structures such as Khadin and Tanka. So these are important things. Make a note of it. Okay. So DNP should get a green project. Yes, this is a very positive news. Why? Because DNP has a lot of desert biodiversity, and by doing this we are actually conserving that part. Okay, so it will be in the best interest of nation. Okay, let's move further. Governor has very limited power. Yes, we know that. I've already discussed that in the beginning. Center extend tenure for green permits. Let's see what it is. Some projects have high gestation period due to variables beyond control. Environmental Ministry. Yes, this is true. Example: nuclear power plant, dams, etc. Easing the norm for infrastructural projects, the Union Environment Ministry has extended the tenure of environmental clearance granted for existing or new projects. Okay, extended the tenure of environmental clearance guidance. Okay. EC for river valley project will now have 13-year validity, and nuclear power project, as I mentioned, or those involving the processing of nuclear fuel will have 15-year validity. Right. The projects can activate other than mining projects and activities other than mining, and river valley projects will have their EC valid for 10 years. Okay. Multiple factor explaining its rationale for ministry. The ministry said in its gazette notification that nuclear power projects and hydropower projects had high gestation period due to geological surprises. Yes, true. There are geological surprises. Okay. Delays in forest clearance, land acquisition, local issue, rehabilitation, resettlement, and other such factors which are often beyond control of project proponent. And in this context, okay, so what are the various things, the various challenges that are beyond the control of project proponent? The first one being the geological surprises. We were like in the northern plain, what do we expect? We expect basically depositional plain like peneplain, but what we get, somewhere we get rocks. So that is what and that is unexpected, right? And therefore it is called geological surprises. Delay in forest clearances. Yes, forest clearances need to be made, especially when a project is near forest or protected land. And then land acquisition is a problem. Always it will be a problem. Local issues. Yes, the local issues for ROW or the son of the soil policies and all those things. The rehabilitation and resettlement and other such factors, right? And therefore it deemed it necessary to extend validity of EC's environmental clearance projects. Long drawn process, as EC is a long drawn process that is mandatory for projects beyond a certain size and often involves environment impact assessment of potential project and sometimes public hearing involving local people who might have affected by the project. Okay, so this getting environment clearance is what? It is a long drawn process and involves many steps that include and some of the projects include even public hearing. Okay, and whereas for other projects also considering time for addressing local concern including environmental issues related to implementation of such project, central government deemed it necessary to extend the validity of such EC. The notification dated 12th August On the condition of an EC, one of the condition of an EC is that project must begin construction in period that has been granted an EC, and if unable, the fresh process must begin. This leads to project being financially unviable. Okay, so what happens is, in the statute it is written that if the project must begin within the time frame given. Okay, but since there are delays, especially the geological surprises, delay in forest clearances, land acquisition, local issues and all those things, it leads to sometimes a lot of delay, even beyond that of the okay, even beyond that of the what we say, that of the period that it has been granted an EC. And that's, and the statute says what, that it will have to refile it if it is not started in the EC time frame, which makes this project or that project very financially unviable. There are cost overruns, that is, in most of the time, if it is a public private partnership, that is not accepted by the private partners, right? Mining leases are now granted for a period of 50 years, but environmental clearances is valid for 30 years. Okay, so this is a new rule, we must know about it. Early summer is a boon for Himachal tourism. Obviously it will be because it will attract a lot of footfall. Okay, and early summer did what, increase time for the tourism. Okay, time period has increased, so this is a boon. Okay, now let's see if anything else remains on this page. India object to methodology used in WHO. Okay, WHO assessment of COVID death. Fine, let's see what it has. COVID death toll. Okay, Health Ministry response to the report of countries stalling the health body's effort. Okay, India has been in regular and in-depth technical exchange with World Health Organization on the issue of collecting and making public the COVID-19 death toll in the country. The Health Ministry said on Saturday late evening in release while responding to April 16 New York Times article headline, India is stalling the WHO efforts to make global COVID death toll public. Okay, so what is the news? There was a news or article in New York Times that titled, India is stalling the WHO effort to make global COVID death toll public. Fine. So according to them, they have accused us of what, of stalling the efforts of WHO, stopping WHO from counting how many people died in India due to COVID, right? Okay, now the ministry said that the analysis, while employing mortality figure directly obtained from tier 1 countries, used mathematical modeling process for tier 2 countries, which includes India. Okay, so what happened in your tier 1 country, they directly obtained while employing the mortality figures directly obtained from tier 1 country, uses a mathematical modeling process for tier 2 country. Okay, so they are using a mathematical modeling process for us and not the actual count. India's basic objection has not been the result but rather the methodology. Okay, it elaborated that India has shared its concern with the methodology along with other member states through series of formal communication, including 6 letters issued to WHO and virtual meeting at the regional webinar held on February 10. Okay, during these exchanges, specific queries has been raised by India along with other member states such as China, Iran, Bangladesh, Syria, Ethiopia, Egypt regarding the methodology used and use of unofficial sets of data. The concern specifically includes how statistical model projects estimates for a country of geographical size and population of India fits in with other countries which have a smaller population, right? So you are doing extrapolation and you are comparing unequals, right? So equals only gets compared and not unequals. Okay, WHO is yet to share the confidence interval for the present statistical model across various countries, the ministry noted. It added that model gives two highly different set of excess mortality estimates when using the data for tier 1 countries and when using unverified data from 18 Indian states, right? So it is saying that the model gives two highly different set of excess mortality estimation when using the data from tier 1 country. Look, from tier 1 country data has been directly collected, and in tier 2 country, first thing they are mathematically modeling it, and second thing they have collected data from as they have said from 18 Indian states, but it remains unverified. India has asserted that if the model is accurate and reliable, it should be authenticated by running it for all tier 1 countries, and result of such exercise may be shared with all the member of the state, right? So India says that if the model is so good and you are confident about it, then do one thing. You first do the trials on tier 1 country and show us the result that it matches, and if it does so, then we are in a good position to help you out, to cooperate with you, but not that you make us the guinea pig and start experimenting on us and then blame us with all the responsibilities for COVID-19. This has been a very old game of the West. They have always done this and they will now again do it. While India has remained open to collaborate with WHO, the country believes that in-depth clarity on methodology and clear proof of its validity are crucial for policymakers to feel confident about use of any such data. The ministry added that it's surprising that while the New York Times purportedly could obtain alleged figures of excess COVID-19 mortality with respect to India, it was unable to learn the estimates for other countries. You understand? This is how it has been happening for so long. India is always given advice. Why they give us advice? The question is this only. The basic thing is that we are a market. We buy their products, right? And if they say that you are not good, you need this thing, and that thing that they are advertising is manufactured by them, or in somehow they are related to the supply chain, then it's their profit, and this profit drives capitalism. We know what is the oxygen for capitalism? Raw material and profit at any cost. So this is how it is going. So India is always advised because of being it a market. If it would have been a producer state, things would have been a bit different. Meanwhile, the Hindu in an email asked WHO about methodology used and listing India in tier 2. It responded saying, we are currently finalizing these estimates and will publish them shortly. WHO has developed the estimate with support of technical advisory group of international experts who have helped develop the robust methodology and best estimates based on all available data. The health ministry has also said that the model used assumes an inverse relationship between monthly temperature and monthly average death. Okay, so it is saying inverse relationship between monthly temperature and monthly average death, which does not have any scientific backing to establish such peculiar empirical relationship. India is a country of continental proportion. Climatic and seasonal conditions may vastly vary across different states and even within a state, and therefore all states have widely varied seasonal patterns. Thus, estimating national level mortality based on 18 state data only is statistically unproven. It added that Global Health Estimates 2019, on which modeling of tier 2 countries is based, is itself an estimate. Okay, so what it is saying, you are estimating something out of an estimate, okay, which is not proper, and it is statistically wrong as well. During interaction with WHO, it has been highlighted that some fluctuations in official reporting of COVID-19 data from some of the tier 1 countries, including US, Germany, France, etc., define knowledge of disease epidemiology, right? Okay, so this is it. Once again, they are using data against India, collected from India, to humiliate India. This has been a strategy from time immemorial. When you have money, when you have power, when you have a youth power, then these things are common. Okay, let's see. So there has been a fuel ship sink in Tunisia, threatens marine life, obviously, because oil will lead to a layer between sun's right and the ocean or the sea or any water body, which means the floating zone, the depth of floating zone will obviously decrease, leading to increased mortality, including including corals and all those things, right? So give it a read. I don't think you'll find many things in this. Just give it a read if you are new to things, or else no need to even see it. Okay, as usual, we do the science and technology page separately. So what is fueling inflation in rural India? Okay, look, let's see. What are the key drivers of higher inflation in hinterland or rural areas, right? While food inflation was the key driver for headline inflation rate jump in March, so food inflation was key driver in headline inflation. Okay, two type of inflation, headline inflation and core inflation. Okay, core inflation, no food, fuel, and there are others also which are essentials, right? And in headline inflation, food, fuel is included. Okay, overall food price index racing to 7.68 in India. February spike for more. Okay. Food inflation in urban area was full percentage lower. Okay. Fuel and light and clothing, which were the key factor driving out. Okay. Higher CPI along with inflation in fuel and light and clothing. Fine. The pent-up demand appear to be higher in rural areas, so clothing is seeing higher inflation and demand pick up. Fine. Interestingly, while vegetable prices declined in urban area between Feb and March, they inched up sharply in rural India month on month. Even though in absolute terms the vegetable inflation rate remains lower than 15.57% in urban area, which recorded 13.37 inflation. Okay. Which sections are affected the most? Okay, affects the poor most general. In fact, the price hike in food, largest component of their consumption basket, driving the current surge particularly burdensome. Okay, burdensome. Fine. There is nothing else here. Okay, give it a read. You'll understand this is a very easy article. I was expecting this to be the answer, and it came true. We all know Sri Lanka is in crisis. Give it a read. I don't think many things you will get from here. Just give it a read. Why is India looking to boost wheat export? Does India have surplus wheat production? What are the countries considering to import food grains? Which countries are there? It is based on yesterday's news that Egypt is willing to buy wheat from India because of the Russian-Ukraine crisis. Initially, it used to route most of its wheat from Russia and Ukraine, but now since two are on crisis, then Bihar has applied for it. Okay. Status of India's wheat export. Globally, Russia is the market leader, 15% of share. Ukraine also major producer. India expects to produce 112 million tons of wheat in the current crop year. The government requires 24 to 26 million tons a year for its food security program. With surplus wheat production opportunities have opened up export. Wheat exports in 2020-21 financial year were estimated at 7.85. Okay. Now these are just data, don't worry. So you have to know that Russia is the global leader in this, 15% market share, followed by other smaller countries like Ukraine and all of that. India has India is nowhere in top 3. Okay. Which new market are expected? Egypt and Jordan, East Africa. Okay, fine. Give it a read. I don't think it is that important. Okay, but just give it a read. That would be enough. Look, you cannot, as I've always said, you cannot and will not be able to write everything in the examination due to space and time constraints, right? Who is she? Marine Le Pen, national. Oh, she is related to this France, no? Canada, no? I think. Racist, anti-Semitic. Okay. There was nothing on this page, and then begins the sport page. Nothing there always. Okay, then with this, we have come to close the today's analysis for newspaper. Right? I hope you like it. Okay then. Okay. So friends, I really hope that you like this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe our channel and share this video with your friend. Follow us on Telegram as well. Also, keep studying hard, keep following your dreams, and keep tuned to our channel. Comment below for any suggestion. Till then, goodbye, good luck, keep studying hard.